Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We are on a 23 F250 and she a high output, but what I'm gonna be doing is something I've already done, but not to an HO. I'm gonna be doing a disaster prevention kit on this 23. It's got 51,000, it is a Michigan truck, but I haven't showed you guys how to take the intake manifold and stuff off of an HO with all those coolant lines. So if you got one, this is where we're gonna be going, and don't forget your fuel filters. Let's go. 3-port, you either got the 3-port or the 2-port. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be talking about the HO, the 6.7 HO, and getting around all these coolant lines. Yes, these should have been on a truck, but PPE has a high output coolant reroute kit, which gets rid of these hard metal lines that drape across your freshly installed intake if you chose the pusher or the PPE. What I'm going to do is get set up. A lot of you guys that come here have made mention to me that they like the setup I have, and they took particular note on when I was pulling all my tools out. I knew exactly what tools, the extensions, because I keep doing the same thing over and over. So I'm going to kind of go over my setup as I had this vehicle just ready to be performed surgery. Gonna do my regimen on before. If you were to bring your vehicle in, this is what you would expect to see. So this vehicle just pulled in. He actually went to go get breakfast, still hot. I wish I could show you the temperature. Trust me, believe me, it's hot. This is just kind of my organized chaos that I try to iron out all in my noodle. So here we go. First thing I gotta do, I'll work on your truck. If it's hot, I gotta have the fan on. And most importantly, when I pull the vehicle in, what really sets my depth and my set and my scene is having the ability to have the door open all the way. It's just past the machine, just past the motor here, the controls of the hoist. So once the vehicle's forward right there, then it leaves me enough room to put my catwalk. And I'll explain to you as we continue forward. So the vehicle's in the shop. I have my cart pulled forward. This is my battle station, whether you're getting the DCR or the pusher. So where I go and prep your kit, get everything opened up. All right, now it's time for the catwalk. And this is kind of something that I've been using for the last 20 years. I had these at the dealer, and it works really well. So these are my little platforms. Gonna put one here. See what I'm talking about, the depth between where my cart is and the truck. This is gonna leave me the right amount of room in between the vehicle, so I don't have to get down, jump around. No, that was not house paint. Okay, nice stow. I garbage picked this thing. I'm so glad I didn't throw it away. I use it all the time. It works really well. So there's my stage. So then my last thing that I get, I use this on every vehicle too. This is kind of like my staging cart. All the parts that come off the truck go on this. I had this at the dealer. Kind of like my surgical bedpan, but for all the parts. All right. Move the fan back. So this is something that I do pretty fast. I get everything set up kind of preemptively. When the truck's not here, I'm waiting for it to show up. I already know where my cart's supposed to be. Then I can put my crates down, and then I know where this is supposed to. So doing it over and over, I know pretty close where everything's going to be if the vehicle's not here. Last thing, we need some lights. lights. We got the lights. Now, if you guys had watched the other video we did showing you how to do the disaster prevention kit, we did not have to drain the coolant. You can choose to drain the coolant. You don't have to, but if you have an HO, I'll just take this off all the way. If you have an HO, you're gonna have to drain both cooling systems. And Alex is gonna get this one off. You don't have to worry about it. Old faithful geysering out. All right, so my next step, if you're an HO, I already have preemptively keep clean, sanitary drain pans. I had to wash this one out this morning because I had a daddy long legs in here. So I slide these out of the way. I have drain pan 1, drain pan 2. If you guys come and see me, a lot of you guys have got the coolant drain little 3D printed tool that one of my disabled veteran subscribers has printed for me. So I like to use this. And I got 2 hoses. 2 hoses. Does it say what size this is? This is an old overflow bottle hose. What size is this? What's it say? Oh, 5/16. So get yourself some 5/16 hose. It goes right over the coolant port nipple. And I got 2 different ones. One's straight, one's got a curve. I like to use the curve on the passenger side because it's kind of tucked into the bumper a little bit. But I'm on the petcock and I'm gonna turn it loose. Now, Alex can attest that doing the secondary radiator, you might not want to take that thing all the way out. And he slowly found out the reasoning behind that. All right, we're gonna let that thing drain. We don't have to let it drain all the way. We're gonna just drain it enough so that we can take these coolant lines off. I'm gonna drain one, I'm gonna drain both. I suppose you only had to drain the secondary, but we'll just drain them both. All right, coolant line is on, bin is underneath, and I'll have to tag the video of doing the secondary petcock. I don't know, why don't you come over here and show them this? Behind me, maybe? You guys might be able to see where my hand's at. See where my hand's at? This is the petcock right here. So this is why these slim tools are a really good asset. So you can see, little tight, and he accidentally went too far, and the petcock came out of the radiator. So we go just a little bit more. Now it starts draining, and you know what I'm gonna do? Because that one's such a little pain to get to, I'm just gonna leave the tool on there so we can close it right away. Coolant's draining. We're doing 2 things while we're doing something else. So I'm gonna go for this mass airflow sensor twang. Okay, so it's not really wanting to come out right there. So go ahead and grab yourself like a pair of needle nose and come behind it or underneath it and then pull it out so you don't bust it. Just take the extra second. You got a white tab, some have a red tab. I'm gonna take this out. I need my high speed and I need my 7. And what I'm gonna do right now is kind of create a platform, and I'll show you why, because it winds up working out really well. Air filter coming out, we're gonna reuse this. Okay. So this is what I've been doing. I don't know what it is with me and cardboard. I can't throw away cardboard. So I'm using a piece of S&B fuel tank box, and I create this platform. I'm left-handed. You guys might call it silly, but I put everything on my left-hand side, and I kind of fold this over the fender so nothing rolls this way. I got it smashed up against the fender. All right, so now I come back to the cart. I'm only going to be using my quarter drive, high-speed long neck ratchet, and I'm going to need to have full battery strength. Oh yeah. So the ones that I use the most, I got 7, 8, 10, long and short. If you guys want any of these tools, I have the hookup for you. The gentleman who is going to assist you, you need to email me and I will gladly pass his info along and you can get the exact same stuff that I use. Moving forward, I have some medium deeps. I'm gonna need a 13, a 12, a 10, an 8. So I take all these, they're gonna go right there. And I come back over here and grab my extensions, and I have several extensions. Here's a good example. I like the straight ones. These ones have that wobble end on it. I want my other straight little guy, right? Where is he at? You have so many of them, you can't find it. You think you lost it. I better not have. Do we have an MIA right now? Really? Ah. See what I mean? I like the straight one. All right, so now that I have my extensions, I have my trim tool. I want my smaller trim tool. I have a long extension for my 7 millis. I'll show you that in a minute. Pliers, definitely gonna need the pliers now for the coolant lines. I'm gonna use these two. 8 milli wrench for the map sensor malarkey. And I think if I had to do in DCR, I'd be doing the fuel line tools here. That's something that I grab. If I was doing a belt, taking the belt off, I'd be grabbing not the wobble one, but the straight one. This would be my belt taking off tool. And that's really it, man. So I guess what I'm gonna do is take one look at the coolant. We're looking okay. What about this one? This cooling system here is what's housing this coolant here. These are the lines that really have to come off. These lines here, if I'm already draining the coolant, I'm gonna drain both cooling systems so I can get these lines out of my way. Usually I don't drain the coolant at times because I'll just work around these lines. But this guy has no onboard power, but he is an HO. Okay. Just like at the casino. Here we go, it's coming off. All right, coolant lines here. What I won't do is show you, I mean, I guess I can just show you the disaster kit again, or I can just reference that video and you guys can check it out, you know, for yourself. This can be a tricky one. You don't want to bust this plastic nipple that is coming off this plastic hose. Okay, leave the clamp. This, let me go ahead and I'll preemptively, let's get this out of the way. Take this off. Twist and pull, twist and pull. This is where you need one of these. Make sure to check our website out, rainmanauto.com. Get you one of my screwdrivers. Pop this off, that's free. Pop this off. Okay, that leg's free, but we still have a trim clip. Trim clip right underneath here. Prying right off the intake, right here, just like that. We got free line. We got another one here. We got some malarkey going on with all these lines here. Push button. Push button over here, and we got this one. Back to the parts cart, left-handed. All my parts go to the left side, my tools are on the left side. I like that flow. Need this off. Need this off. Got more clips than you know what to do with. Let's get this guy out of the way. And I hope you guys remember where all your stuff's going. All right, this trim clip right here. This trim clip right here. There we go, there we go. Take this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And we're gonna take its other little friend, its trim clip. All right, now we have a risk right here, and that is disconnecting it from the radiator. It is very possible to do. I've done it multiple times. However, the risk with removing that is you could break the titty off of the radiator. Now, I would much rather put a degas bottle in it because I've disturbed that connection than a radiator, which is going to be thousands of dollars. So I leave this untouched and I just kind of do, it's out of my way. If I can't see it, I'm not worrying about it. All right, so this guy right here, do one of those karate chop moves, and I take this guy just like this. All right, let me take one more look at the coolant. I'd say that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and close. Let me take my tool off the passenger side. All right, tools off. Let me close the driver's side. We got enough coolant drained out. Luckily, this guy has the tremor balance on. Okay, that's enough. Now, here's another reason why I don't like to get rid of the cardboard is I'll save the coolant. I'll bring my vat over here so as I work it doesn't get messy. And I'll put my cardboard right over the coolant. And it looks, by golly, since we've been talking, that this one is now done draining. So you gotta pay attention. If that passenger side stops, no problem. The only time that driver's side is gonna stop is when that meniscus is right at the tippy tip top of your vat and it's gonna overflow. So pay attention if you have a small collection container. All right, twisting this back in. Okay, that's tight. Use the hoses every time. Put everything back where you found it. Tool. Coolant vat coming at you. Fresh and clean. Now I'll just use this because it's a lighter coolant. I don't have as much. Another square. All right, we're mastered on the coolant. Move my catwalk back. Catwalk. Okay, so now it comes time to really do these coolant lines right here. We have one trim clip right here. Try to get underneath it. There we go. All right. So this one's the closest one to show you guys. I'm gonna get a sanitary just to preemptively, because I've had it leak here and I don't want it to leak down the fan shroud. Okay. So you're gonna take this. See what I just did? It's just like a, I don't know, eighth turn, quarter turn. Just wiggling, it pops right off. See how much coolant comes out, if any. All right, cool, I'm down with that. All right, so you take that same principle that I just showed you. Just feel your finger, okay. There's that one. This one, you're just twisting the white collar. All right, I just popped it off the line. Let's see, is any coolant gonna drain out? All right, not a lot. We got one left here. Same thing, just kind of turn it. The clip does not come out. All right, that line's off. So I'm gonna get another sanitary because this is pretty much happens every time now. So I try to, I'm actually surprised coolant didn't start leaking out of there. I'm gonna hold this guy and I'm gonna immediately go like this. I'm gonna take it off the vehicle and actually go put it in my other drain pan over here so it can fully leak out. There we go. Coolant line's empty. All right, coolant lines are off. Now you can actually get down to the nitty gritty. Now this is the exact same procedure to do the disaster prevention kit, but in order to take the intake manifold off, There's one little extra step that we have to do. Get this electrical connector off. Get this out of the way because it's going to drop. Okay, 8 millis. Extension. 8 milli wobble. Coming at you. Remember, these are not magnetic, and no, these are not the ones that break. I'm sorry, these are the bolts that break, but not this particular bolt. Those bolts are down there. So if you had an 11 through 19, then you would have these bolts all the way down here. These newer trucks have those bigger boys. I'm gonna keep moving down left-handed. Let's do the left side, get it all taken care of. Keep your 8 milli on here. Come rip this guy out. And then you're gonna come by with your 8 milli wrench, ratcheting wrench, hopefully, and get this dumb bracket off that these Cracker Jack box engineers thought that we needed a bracket. Put a bracket right on top of this map sensor underneath the cowl, because we got, you know, swinging moving parts over here. And I could go all night, baby. Johnny, I would sail. You need 2 ships to cross my ocean. Tell me you love me, baby. All right. Oh yeah, the other thing. Why was it that necessary? See, this is the things that Ford spends their dumb money on with these stupid ideas. You tell me what the purpose was to have, one, the wasted money you guys had to put this bracket on and make and stamp, and the paint dot and the paint pens you had to buy, and then all of the pounds, I would say, not tons, probably pounds of white Loctite that you wasted. And you mean to tell me you couldn't have maybe just did this unnecessary stuff and just threw it to the can and gave us a dipstick tube, or gave us a real locking hub, or gave us the freaking keypad that you've had on all your vehicles for the last, I don't know, 3 decades? See what I'm talking about? Get your screwdriver or pick. I go for the little white tab. I don't even hit the button. I just go right here, do a little lifty, a pulley. This one's no problem. Pull that guy right off. Now, if any of you guys watching and have the hookup, this zip tie stretches and breaks just like it did. I would love to replace that zip tie with the Christmas tree clip. Pull that out so it doesn't fall when you're removing the intake manifold. If anybody knows where you can get a bulk supply, let me know, because I would love to purchase some. All right, trim tool, we got a stud over here, 8 milli holding the intake down. You guys can use this opportunity to push this button. You just heard that click. I'm gonna hit this button, you heard that click, and just wiggle it off. Now you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting it. It's all out in the open. Look at that. All right, now we have a connection down here. And my little workaround, how about if I put it on the tip? My little workaround is I'll get my trim tool like this, pop this off, move it out of the way. Okay. And then I'll come back with my medium deep 10, come back with my impact swivel to create a better 10 mil. And I'm going right here, going right on this 10 mil stud and nut. Once you get that 10 milli, not off, but just loose, I get my map sensor and just kind of do something like that. I'm able to get all this wiring out of the way. Just down here. All right, that looks good. That looks good. So we're gonna go for the intake. These bolts right here. Yup. Break it loose. 8 mil. Now we got an 8mm around the corner. This is why I like the long neck ratchets. I think the long neck ratchets are a must. And then we go for this back corner. Pull that back corner out. Now I kept this long extension right here, and I'm gonna switch over to the 7. We have 3 7s we gotta worry about. We have one down here that's holding the lower intake inlet to turbo. If I can get it on. Okay, and then we have a 7mm right here. And then I'm gonna grab the light, and we have the last 7mm right here. I'll just take care of all my 7mm right now. All right, so now all that nonsense is done. We have one more step. We have to mess with these tubes, but I'm gonna leave that for last. Intake manifold still gonna disconnect the same. We have some 10s, 2 10s. This side, we have 1 10 right here. These are gonna be reused. Bop, bop, bop. All right, some of the magnet. And we're gonna go for clip, 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 trying to be clip. There we go. That's gonna come off. I'm gonna save this clip and put it back at the split at the top. And come down on its belly side and give it a twist. That's coming off. That is being reused. Now we have the alternator. Not in our way, but not magnetic. We're gonna do something like that. Now, throttle body, you guys can choose to leave it on or off. I take it off just so that it's a little easier when I'm removing the intake. Sometimes, there we go, I didn't have the red thing out all the way. Okay, mat, throttle body connector, hit the button, and I tuck it right here. I tuck it right here. All right, we got a bunch of 8s. I like the extension I have. We're gonna swap it right here. We're gonna go for this bottom quadrant. I don't take the bolts out. The bolts are actually gonna hold the gasket in for me. I'll take them all off as an assembly. Now I'll hold it, holding all the bolts on the bottom. This one will just watch. And then I'm gonna peel that gasket off with it and kind of just do something like this. It's gonna be nasty and slimy with carbon buildup, so don't touch nothing you don't want to get all messed up. This here, that, factory location. All right, get this guy out of the way. Is this thing gonna be, oh wow, it is loose. That's cool. That's cool. Pull this off like this. See how my arm's underneath here? I like to kind of go like that. Now, I will take this time right now to tell you, you guys may be wondering why I haven't taken the upper hose off since I got the coolant drain. There are O-rings in here that I don't want to disturb, so unless I had those O-rings, then I would take the hose off, but not necessary. Get your trim tool. You're gonna kind of pop this clip like this. See how I just did that? Pull that out. It's gonna go right back, and it's how still it got a groove back. Now I have seen when I have this stuff apart, you guys can look right here. See that oil right there? Make sure you wipe it. It's coming out of the hot side tube. I just don't want you to stain your intercooler and stuff as you're working and it's draining down. All right, looking better, looking better. CCV, here it is. The infamous CCV. I'm gonna break the seal. Broke the seal. Take my trim tool and pop it right off. All right, pop it right off, and I go right underneath here, like this. So it's just out of the way. Now, before I go for that stuff there, I am gonna remove, well, actually I need a sanitary. Sanitary, keeping it sanny. Go down here like this, make a little blanket, make a little pigs in a blanket. And I'm gonna do something like that. Pull this guy off. And get this one here, pull that out all the way. Let it leak right into the little basin. And that will allow me to get my fingers here. And then do something like that. Not juicing it over. And then I'll take this soaked rag and cover the ports, and I'll just pull the fuel filter out of this cup right now, and then go put it in the drain pan. Okay, 8 milli. Oh, let's clean off this because I'm not wearing fuel all day. At 8 milli, I'm gonna use my shorter 8 and my medium deep 8 ball socket to hole. All right, we're going for this 8 milli. I'm taking the fuel cup out. Going for this one and this one. And then that is going to allow me to do something like this. And then you can just take the cup and swivel it right out of the way. I never used to take these out when I was at the dealer, but I don't know, it makes it so much easier to maneuver everything in and out. All right, dipstick tube, switching over to the 10. We got a stud and a nut right here. And I see I accidentally juiced it with some fuel. Let me go ahead and give a spritz before I pull it apart. Evaporate real quick. All right, there we go. Like nothing ever happened, man. We got 10 mil right here in the back. So because this guy's got a 23, he's already got the new CCV box. So that allows you to pull the dipstick tube out of the way and go just like this. Now look, there's nothing in the way, nothing inhibiting the removal of the upper intake. Okay, this is a neutral drop. 12 mil, coming back with the 8. Got to use the 8 going around the corner. Okay, around the corner, should be right there. Okay, now, because this is an HO, I want you guys to kind of shimmy the intake kind of out of the way. All right, I'm kind of doing something like that. It's just kind of up out of the way. I'm gonna take my long, no, I'm getting a different one. I'm getting a long straight. I'm getting a magnet. That 8 mil we just used. Now we gotta be cautious. We have to be careful. We're going for the tubes that sit in the turbo. They did not leave you much room to remove the tubes and the bolts from the engine. There's one. I'm gonna put that guy right there. All right, I see the other one. We're gonna go down on it. Now the intake is open. Intake is open. Just take care of not dropping anything. Okay, magnet going in. Okay, success. All right, we got all the loose parts up and out of the way. Now we just got to get the tubes out so we can remove the intake. So I just try to twist the tube in its bore. All right, broke the seal. Let's see if I can. Don't really have anything to grab a hold of except for the actual tube itself. You're trying to fight this rubber seal. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I just can't get my paw down in there. There we go. So silly. So silly. Spin it. All right. I got more tab hanging off the turbo. There we go. Okay, that's tube one. That's the driver's side tube. Now I'm gonna spin this one in its bore. There we go. Tabs hanging off the turbo. I need more tab hanging off the turbo. Give me a little something to pull against. Come on, baby. That is hot, I ain't gonna lie. Just came off the road, right on the turbo. Come on, baby. Come on. I need something under that foot. I need something under that foot. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get a cramp in my arm. Come on, Papa. What's the deal? That rubber O-ring's getting me. Dude. Come on, buddy. This isn't, this wasn't supposed to transpire like this. I don't know, I have no understanding. Oh, it moved more. Come on, dude. Oh, come on. It's almost out of the hole. Oh. Well, I'm glad I'm making this video for you guys. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got it. What was the holdup, dude? Oh my gosh. The O-ring looks fine. I think it was just corroded in there. Steel pipe and an aluminum housing. Thank you, Ford. Holy frijoles, dude. My hands are just wasted right now. Oh my goodness. Freaking wasted. All right, now you gotta wiggle this malarkey out. All right, intake coming off, going right here. Gotta put the caps in. All right. Okay, I see a bunch of coolant residue. Oh my gosh, I can't even squeeze this button. Oh man, my shit is wasted. Stupid, but you gotta do it. All right, I see a little nest down here. We're gonna have to get the vacuum cleaner. Let's go ahead and clean these out. That's pretty freaking dirty. Do a little wipe.
But the turbo's the same size on an HO.
Yeah, the only thing that's different is this piece that's bolted to the front. It's got coolant that's going through it, probably down in here and then back around. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do this cut first. So S&S has a little modification that you need to make to this line right here. And this is what I do. So I'm gonna get this and soak this with some water. This is gonna double as two things. One, a water barrier, so it doesn't catch on fire. And two, all the fuel is just gonna soak in here and try to collect something like this. So I'll show you what I'm gonna do. This is out of the way. We'll get this guy out the way. Fuel return, we'll put that under the CCV. Upper hose is holding that. Okay, this is our operating area right here. I'm gonna take my torch. I'm gonna take my razor blade and my long flat blade screwdriver. I'll go ahead and heat this up. I'm gonna heat this up until it, like, the plastic just starts bubbling. I need more power. Until it starts bubbling, kind of like that, kind of like that. I'm gonna give this to Alex. Okay, and I'm gonna go here. I'm not gonna slice it. I'm just pushing the razor blade down into the molten plastic. I don't want to score the metal. Let's see if we got it to cut. All right, I did. So I just get my flat blade and kind of just get right at this corner and give it a twist. Then I work my way, do the same thing. See what we just did? All right, and then I come back to the end and kind of push down, taking the line off of this titty. All right, we're not gonna need this anymore. We can take this little sanitary that just decided to juice all that fuel down, and we'll get our brake clean, and we'll do a little cleaning session here where I leak down. Yeah, right onto the fuel rail. This brake clean will dry up fast, clean it all off. Now that's going to take all that fuel out of this line. So now when we come back over here, I'm not going to have a bunch of nastiness when I go to take this volume control valve out of the CP4. Now this is still hot. Am I going to get air right now? I don't think so. This is going to just evaporate really quick. I'll just blast this area. Whew. Got the fan on, blowing all them fumes. Okay, all right, we got the T25 coming in. These are magnetic. We are not going to be reusing these. Okay, feel for that bolt down there. Where is it? That little screw. There it is. Okay, should be all the way up by now. Okay, magnet. Okay, not going to use that anymore. All right, so this is what you got to keep sanitary right here. Giving it a twist, and I'm going to pull up and put it right here. Okay. Totally clean. If you had any metal in here, you'd be coming in on a tow hook. there it is. We're gonna get the kit all opened up and prepped and get this thing installed in the engine. Gotta keep it sanitary. Get your kit. Here's your manifold head. The new lines that smell like new school shoes. O-rings, O-rings. And some zip ties. All right, let's get this thing rocking and rolling. We need this right here. This little baggie has got the new screws and some new O-rings. And these new O-rings are gonna go right here. And then the other one's gonna go right here. Put a little Vaseline on this. Okay, gonna hold that in, put some right here. Okay, this little guy here is gonna go like that and like that. That's prepped. We'll bring this guy in. Double check our O-rings. I've already checked and we have no fuel in the bolt holes. All right, let me get that volume control valve. All right, just like this. Scalpel. Drop that into the block plate. All right, she's in. I'll take my 5mm Allen. Finger it right down. This one down. Hand tight, and then I'm going to switch over to my little palm ratchet. Alright. Okay, leave that in there. I like this little guy because I'm not putting a lot of torque on it. Just feeling it. Snug it, snug it. You can feel the Allen kind of, be springy. Okay. Okay. That can go back away. Razor blade, we don't want to cut ourselves on that. We do not need that anymore. Let's not forget to plug this in, because I have, like an idiot. Come on, you little bugger. There we go. Connector, connected. All right, give me 2 of those zip ties over there. We'll complete these little zip tie thingies. We'll move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. Come on, I'm getting snagged on everything today. All right, I like to get these 2 zippies, and I'm gonna go around I like to get these 2 zippies and go around the CP4 manifold. And I like to pull them right there. And the other one, they're like 3 inches apart. This is where I'm finding the best placement for these things. Okay, get your nippers. Alright, and then you can go ahead and clip that guy in and clip that guy in, and we can kind of deal with this other nonsense after we put the intake on. But that's the DPK on the HO. All right, intake, manifold, reinstallation. Let's make sure this is correct, and it's not. So that's supposed to go there. That's supposed to go there. Let me get a 7 and I'll tighten that down a little so it doesn't pop off on us. All right, that should be good. And then I like to give just the inside of this little white, push it back on its feet, right here. Oh yeah. All right, so that's ready to go. Unfortunately, we have to put this on with the upper intake, which is stupid. Okay. I always reuse the intake gaskets. These, I never have any issues with them. All right. You saw what I just was doing, right? Okay, lower intake is on. And let's just get it set up. Okay, upper intake is on. All right, everything is where it needs to be. Now, back to the HO silliness. I want an HO! Well, this is why an HO is going to cost you more money when you need to get stuff done because of the unnecessariness. Let me bend this down just a tiny bit. There we go. All right, we'll do one at a time. We're going to lube this up with some Vaseline. It's right here. Okay. This was the passenger tube. All right, that thing's in. All right. Now, I had a drunk technician one time show me a trick, and I think I've showed you guys before. We're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go right down into its hole. There we go. Shoot, since I got this ratchet out already, I'll just use the hand ratchet. Okay, that's tight. Now, what about the paper towel? Can I save the paper towel? That did not belong here. It's not a Ford part. Okay. Driver's side. Driver's side. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Driver's side tube. A little tighter. Okay, it went in and it's seated. 100% seated. All right, let's go back to the extension. Let's do another piece of paper towel. This last bolt. All right. Damn, that's tight. All right, so that's why I had to move the intake. Just doesn't give you enough room. All right, so the intake's open. Take note, be careful. Be careful. Okay, it's going in. Yeah, make sure you stay on shot. All right. Tightening. Okay. Remember, the intake's open. Don't just yank this off. Your socket could fall off. Okay. Intake is open. Let's get the paper towel. It wasn't here. Okay, paper towel retrieved. Okay, let's start tightening the intake manifold. All right, I'm gonna set my 10 millis in here. Here, my 10 milli here, 10 milli. And then I'm just gonna give these ones just a quick spin, all of them. Tips of my fingers. All right, they're good. All right, we're gonna go around the world. We're gonna 8 milli. Gonna 8 milli these guys. Nice. Okay, 12 milli coming at you. We're not gonna neutral drop this one. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna come around the world, go on the passenger side. Shoot, I'll get this one. I'll get this one. I'm telling you guys, these wobbles, you guys need these wobbles. You need wobbles in your life. Okay, I like it. Now we have this wiring here. We'll flop this back over. We'll get our sensor. And that tube back down. All right, we have, don't forget that right there, that little connection we had. We got to swap over to the medium deep 10 mil. We're gonna go right for that connection right here. It's kind of hard for you guys to see. Suck that sensor right back down. All right, we got a trim clip that goes over that stud back there. I usually do it with my right hand. There we go. All right. Now that that's situated, I can get my studly do right. Eight milli. Put the stud down on here like that. And then don't mix these up. We have an exhaust back pressure sensor connector. And then this twing right here. I still have just a little tiny lip of that, but it's on. They're on. We gotta put this stupid bracket with, heaven forbid, the Loctite's on it. 8 mil. When you do the pusher intake, these don't get used anymore. 8 milli wrench. See if we can get it. Nope. This way? Yep. Couldn't go anymore. Loctite was getting tight. $8 milli. Come here, sis. Okay, that's connected. I like it. All right, we can go like this. We can go like this. I need to hear it click. Collar's just got to turn a little bit. There we go. All right, so what I want you to do before you tighten this 7 milli down here is I want you to bolt this fast. It's important, that's got to be down before you tighten that to the turbo. All right, I don't want to forget that 7. So I'm going to come over here and just tighten that now so we don't forget. I'm looking right at it, 7 milli, right there. All right, now that's tightened. We can forget that. little EGR pipe. Don't forget the little clip that is on the lower intake manifold. All right, before I bolt it down, I'll just plug it in. Got it. Now it's got a little detent in the lower intake manifold. Okay, just put everything back how you guys got it. Remember, these aren't magnetic, they're titanium, so don't drop them. I like it. There we go. What about this one? There we go. All right, we're gonna cinch these all down. 8 milli, 6-inch extension coming at you. Okay, so that is all in. I guess we can start the driver's side. We'll get the dipstick tube. Nut, all 10 milli. And 10 mil bolt. Okay. Tight. All right, now we're coming for the fuel cup. Don't be scared, it's just a fuel cup. So what I do is just lift up on this line a little bit and you'll get all the, it's fighting me because I don't take the bolts out. All right, everything's loose. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these 8s down, starting with that hard one first, this one right here. Get that out of the way. Before I go all the way, make sure these are started. Yep. Make sure this is started. Yep. Go back to this. Okay. Back to that. Back to that. We can't forget our tether to the fuel cup. Let's see if we can draw it in. All right, I like it. Okay, so I think before I continue, is I will get SNS's new line on. Grab this, and I'm gonna put just a little loop. Wow, that really flung up on me. Okay, I believe this is a 7? Yeah, nice crisp 7. That has to slide on. I like to put the clamp like this so it's facing me. And I like to have this facing straight up. All right, so we'll slide this up like that. And what I like to do is, you see these 2 ribs right there. I like to keep the clamp right between those 2 ribs. Switching off the 8, putting the crisp 7 on, detent to detent. Going at it right here. Oh, come on. How could that have happened? Right here. Oh, Jiminy Cricks. Nope. There we go. All right, get that cinched down. I like it. And then you're gonna take your CCV and all these fuel lines, and tighten, put that back in its clip. Get the CCV out of here. The CCV is gonna be kind of right here. And then this right here, do we go underneath? Let's put this S&S underneath the CCV. See what that looks like. Okay, I like that. This can go here. Yeah, I can do that. All right, I'm gonna clip this on. That's on. Red clip's on. This is for the hot side tube. Fuel line's all gonna be right here. Okay, I can dig that. Let's get the fuel filter. Fuel filter, brake clean. I need brake clean. This fuel filter's kind of nasty. He's already put the fleece on here. It was nasty sitting in here. Let's go down here. Oh, sorry, bud. Damn it, I didn't realize his date was on there. Okay. Installing. I let the fuel leak out in the oil drain. All right. Okay. DPK. Return line. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. I like that. Give me one more zip tie. I'll hold this guy over here. Give me those other two lines. All right, so this is kind of cool how S&S has you do this. You got to do this to every truck. Pull this line off. Let it leak in my little rag. All right, now you're gonna take this end and you're gonna turn it so it faces forward. And out of these two lines, I'm gonna put this one up so I can have better leverage. Push that in, and then I'm gonna loop this through this guy, and it's gonna go right here. And the other one that's kind of self-explanatory, that one's gonna go right on top of what you just took off. Clipped on, and then we have our fuel filter that's gonna sit right here. Open up baggie number 2, and you're gonna go like this. And go like this. S&S has this bracket. This guy is going to go like this. And I'm going to take these two nuts. These are 11 mil nuts. So 11 mil nuts, we're going to grab our gun. And our 11 mil. Alright, so I'm going to get some lube on the filter. I just snug it down. I'm not reefing it with a oil filter wrench or anything, so spin that bad boy on like that. And we got 2 fittings, both of which have O-rings. Like that. Make sure they're seated all the way around, all the way around. Little lube. They're both the same. All right, let's go ahead and tighten these boys down. I want to say 15. Yep. Ugh. So this is prepped. I'll put a little lube here, a little lube here. Now we got to go to the cowl. We're going to need this washer, this spacer, and this nut. Come through here and unclip your cowl just a little bit. Get your small footed trim tool, and you're going to go right here. not gonna reuse this anymore. All right, so what I kind of do is I'll put my bolt and everything in here. And I set it down. I'll take my 5mm little bit driver and I'll just leave it sitting in here like this, okay? I swap over to my 10mm. Okay, I got this guy ready. I got my filter. I got strategic light placement and my spacer and nut. So this guy's gonna go like this. Here's my spacer. I'm gonna set my spacer on here. Notice I'm juggling said part. I'm putting it through the spacer. I'm funneling it through the bracket. I'm all the way up and I'm pushing up on it and this is holding it. Take my 10mm nut and start it. I've dropped it, so be careful, make sure you have it on. Okay, I'm 100% on. Come over here to the tightening stage and I'll go, yep, or he can hold it. And cinch it right to the cowl. And then you can lift the cowl up, take your little 5mm out. Go ahead and snap all those down, and then that is pretty much it for the DPK. Now, that last O-ring, or last zip tie, what I'll do is I'll zip tie it around this guy. I need to get these ones too. I should find out where S&S's supplier is. I need a lot of these in my life. All right, cutters. Cutters. All right, and then we'll take these two hoses and do something like that. See how they're away from each other. CCV. Let's push the CCV on. Oh yeah. All right. I really like that. I think hot side tube time. Next thing that's sitting up here anyway. Clipped on underneath the upper hose, kind of just directing the tube onto the snout of the intercooler. Get your electrical connector and sensor. This is one of the 7 millis. Get your 7 milli ready. 7 milli right here. Oh yeah. All right, throttle body. Let's get us set up. I already have the 8 milli on. Okay. Putting it on the same way it came off. Connector. Connector, red tab. All right. Now these bolts, watch this bolt. This bolt has a little nub on the front, and it's gonna center them in all the holes. So right now I'm pushing on all the other 3 bolts, and I'm gonna start this one. And once this is in, those little nipples on the bolts are already in the hole aligning it. So it'll already be ready to go. Note to self, I actually didn't pay attention to the loop in this throttle body wiring and got it caught between the throttle body and the intake manifold. So just note to self. All right, switching over to 7 milli again. It's popular. 7 milli charge air cooler duct going down on the intercooler. It's on. It's clipped on. Get this guy like this. Look at that memory it had. You think you'll know where the coolant line goes? Absolutely. Where's she at? Right there. Oh, no wonder. There it is. Coming up. All right, I like it, I like it. I'd say let's move my tool cache. Move this guy over here. Let's get this turkey. Move all these coolant lines. Get this guy and put it down here. Clip, clip, clip. Oh yeah. Mass airflow sensor before we forget. Okay, now we can just do something like this. Get your tool cache back over here. Let's make sure we're on the 7mm. We got the 7mm. Let's go ahead and tighten these. This one. All right. Now we had the HO stuff on here before, or it was the last thing we took off. So we'll go get our hoses. High output lines coming at you. This one down here. Sanitary removed, clipped on. They only going in one way. Christmas tree clip, 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 clippity-doo-dah. All right, let's overlay all of this nonsense. All right, get this guy. They're all kind of just sitting here. We'll do this like this. Pull this electrical connector off. We'll put this down and this at the same time so it can swivel out of its way. Thank you. Thank you. This guy here. Now we can put this guy here and then this guy here. We got this clip. Everything's just kind of falling right into the same spot that it was in. This clips on here, here, here. And then we can get this clamp and push down and do this at the same time. There we go. Now, you guys may notice the clamp is not in the exact same spot. I'm gonna let that one get manipulated by this right here. Let's see. Twist the hose. There we go. Okay, I'm good with that. Then I'll take this whole thing and just pivot it around how it was from the factory. Okay. We have this clamp here. Right here. Okay, and then my last clamp, we got this guy right here coming up, same spot. I like it, I like it. We got this right here. Can't forget this. All right, witness mark, and clamped in. Dudes, this is it. This is how you do the HO disaster prevention kit and messing around with these coolant lines. I know it kind of looks confusing under here, but just like at the casino, we are all done, all tools accounted for, and most importantly, your 6.7 now protected. If this is something you're interested in getting done, I would prefer doing the DCR, but if finances and year of the truck play a big role in that, then maybe the disaster prevention kit is for you. I appreciate you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, sub, share, and check out everything we have cataloged for these 6.7s. I'll see you guys later.